Hi there. We are going over protein synthesis practice problems. This is transcription and translation. So during transcription, DNA is being transferred into RNA, and it's important to remember the base pairing rule for RNA. On the left side of the box, you have the DNA base, and on the right side, you have the RNA. So A pairs with U. It does not pair with T because there's no T in RNA. So A will pair with U. But if you are given a T in the DNA strand, it does pair with A. C pairs with G and G pairs with C. So one way to remember this is that aunts pair with uncles. All right, so here are some examples. Example 1, we are given the DNA strand TAG-GCA. In order to come up with the mRNA, we have to pair up the bases. So remember our rule, T pairs with A, so our first letter in mRNA will be the A. A pairs with U, and G pairs with C. See if you can come up with the last three on your own. The mRNA strand we are given is AUC CGU. Again, this is because that A pairs with T, U pairs with A, C pairs with G. Here, G paired with C, C pairs with G, A pairs with U again. Here's another example. We are given the DNA strand GTA AAT. Pause the video and see if you can come up with the mRNA strand. The mRNA strand is CAU UUA. Remember that A pairs with U when we are talking about RNA, but T from DNA still pairs with A. Here's example 3. DNA segment CCA GTG. Pause the video and see if you can get the mRNA strand. The mRNA strand is GGU CAC. Here are some more examples. I invite you to pause the video and see if you can come up with the mRNA strand for these three examples. In example 4, the DNA strand TCT AGG pairs up with AGA UCC. In example 5, the DNA strand GTC ACT pairs up with CAG UGA. And lastly, the DNA strand in example 6, CAA GCT, pairs up with GUU CGA. Remember that A pairs with U when we are talking about RNA. This is transcription taking DNA to RNA. In translation, we are taking the RNA that we just transferred from DNA into amino acids. For this, you will need a codon chart. The codon chart that is seen on the right hand of the screen is the wheel or circle version of the chart, but you can also use the rectangular version. Example 1, we are given the RNA segment GCA. In order to use this chart, we are going to need to start in the middle of the chart. This G is going to be on the left-hand side on the top. Once we start in this quadrant, though, we have to stay in the quadrant. So we start with G, and then we go to the next level, which would be C, And then our last level is going to be A, which is right here. So our amino acid is alanine. For RNA, for example 2, we are given UCU. Again, we are starting in the middle, and then we have to work our way out. So U, the next level is C, the next level is U. So we are at serine. Example 3, we are given AAA. Pause the video and see if you can find the amino acid that goes with the RNA AAA. The amino acid that goes with AAA is lysine. Once again, we start in the middle and work our way out in that quadrant. So here is A, next level is A, third level for A is lysine. Here are 3 more practice problems. Pause the video and see how you do. For the amino acid, or for the RNA segment CCA, the amino acid is proline. CCA. For the RNA UUU, we start in the middle, we work our way up to the next level, to the next level, and we have phenylalanine. So U gives us phenylalanine. And for example 6, GAG, we have to start in the quadrant with G, move to the next level A, and then to G, which gives us glutamic acid. Now to put it all together, transcription and translation, we have to go from DNA to RNA to the amino acid, which is our protein. So in this example, we are given the DNA segment GAC, CGT. So remember, our first step is to get the RNA. Now notice, if you tried to go from DNA straight to amino acid, there's no T on the chart for you to do so. So we have to go from GAC, CGT to RNA. So remember, G and C pair together, A pairs with U, T pairs with A. So our RNA segment is CUG-GCA. To get our amino acids, we have to use the chart. Once again, start in the middle of the chart and then work your way out depending on which quadrant you are in. For CUG, we have leucine, and for GCA, we have alanine. The next example, you are given the DNA strand TTG-GCA. Pause the video and see if you can get not only the RNA, but also the amino acid. The RNA that goes with the DNA strand is going to be AAC CGU. The amino acids that go with those RNA codons are AAC, which is asparagine, and CGU, which is arginine.